are you today? How are you feeling? Anything stirring inside yet? You feeling any shifts happening for you with all these beautiful videos? So in this video, I wanted to address a comment that's come up on one of my videos. I know it feels like a broken record to say this again, but if you are watching these videos and you are listening to the information and it does not resonate with you, it is okay. It is not meant for you. These videos are not for everyone. Some people, it will rub them the wrong way. This comment was saying that they were offended and they felt insulted because I called Jesus with a J, and apparently that name didn't come in until much later. Jesus had a different name before. I'm not aware of any of that. I don't create these videos with any intention of upsetting anyone or offending anyone. I grew up in the Catholic Church and we read the Bible every Sunday. I went to church every single Sunday until I was about 15. And from then on, my mother decided, well, now it's up to you to continue going or not. She did her part. Her part was to introduce us to that religion because it was her religion. It's what she believed in. But then it was up to us if we were going to continue down that path, if that's what we were going to pursue, what we were going to believe in, what we were going to follow. But up until I was 15, I wasn't given a choice. I had to go with my mum to church. That's what we had to do. So I grew up in the Catholic Church. And in the Bible that we had to read every Sunday, Jesus' name was with a J. This is what I've grown up with. I don't know any different. I haven't studied any other cultures. And to be honest, I'm not here to discuss religion, any form of religion. I'm not interested in covering that topic. The only time that topic has come up has been in this beautiful book, You Can Change Your Past. There's a whole chapter dedicated to religion and the purpose of religion, the reason why it was created. And it's actually quite fascinating, that religion was created to separate us even more. Because when we come here to separate. When we're born, and we separate from the whole. We separate from the one, from the universe, from God, from spirit, whatever name you want to call it. You'll notice I never call it one thing or the other. I always give it a lot of names because it doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't stop being what it is. This is what I was trying to explain to this lovely person that had made their comment and felt offended. The sun is called by many names. In English, it's sun with a U. In Spanish, it's sol, S-O-L. In French, it's soleil. And I'm sure that in every other language, it's going to have its own specific name. But my question to that person and to you today is, does the sun stop being the sun because I call it something different to what a French person would call it or a Spanish person would call it? Does it stop doing its job? Does it get offended and not come out because I've called it something it's not? I've used the wrong name for the sun. Think about it. Sit with that today. Because life, spirit, the universe, God, whatever it is that you want to call that entity that is everything, doesn't stop being what it is being. It doesn't stop existing because we call it by a different name. It doesn't matter what name you give it. It is still the same thing. The moon, the same. In Spanish, it's luna. Does it stop being the moon because I've given it a different name? Does it stop serving its purpose because I've given it a different name? So these are all things to think about. And as I was reading this person's comments, and I was feeling how offended they felt, and, you know, that they were stepping onto that train, you know, of being upset and offended. And remember, you always have the choice. You can look at why you're upset and offended. There's a reason we get upset and offended. And many times it's because your soul is trying to help you release a belief that's no longer serving you, that's no longer true. Life, spirit, God, the universe is very, very simple. Very simple. It doesn't work by our human rules. It doesn't function from our human rules. It is what it is, regardless of what you want to call it. It doesn't stop being what it is. When I call in Jesus, he doesn't look offended. He doesn't look upset that I've called him by the wrong name. On the contrary, he's thrilled that I've called him in. He's thrilled that I want him to be in my presence, that I've asked for assistance, that I've opened up that door and that he can come in and assist. These rules of giving things the right name or the wrong name. There was another comment as well from a different video that had to do with spirit guides. And the person making that comment was worried about giving them the wrong name, their spirit guide, the wrong name. And we're going to touch in the next few videos more on this concept of this idea of spirit guides, because there was a lot coming up, and I realized that there's a lot of people out there that want more information about their spirit guides. But in this video, I wanted to go over again the fact that if there is something you're listening to, there's something you're watching, and it's not just in this channel, just in my videos, anywhere that you're watching or listening to things and they don't resonate with you, they don't sit well with you, they don't feel true in your heart, remember, not everything is meant for you. If you are listening to it and you are a strong no, that you disagree, that doesn't feel right, then it's not for you. You don't have to sit there and argue till you're blue in the face that this isn't right and try and prove your point of why it isn't right. Because it doesn't matter. If it doesn't resonate with you, it is not meant for you. It is that simple. Remember, we are all on different paths. We're all here to have different experiences. None of them are right or wrong. None of them. So if I believe firmly in my religion and I believe with all my heart that the being that creates all has a specific name and it can't be named by it can't have any other name, or it is insulted, that is my path. That is my experience. And that is wonderful for me. That's what I came to experience. There's nothing right about it. There's nothing wrong about it. Enjoy your experience. That's what you came for. If you hear something in these videos and it just doesn't sit right with you, many times you'll notice I'll say something and there's a pause. There's a deliberate pause. And it's so that information has time to sit with you, to see how it feels to you. In your energy, does that feel like it belongs to you? Yes, this information, it feels right. It feels like it's for me. Then it is for you. But if you are here and you are listening and you're getting upset and you're getting offended and it feels completely wrong to you, then it's not for you. It's not meant for you. And that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's because we judge that it's right or it's wrong or it's good or it's bad that we have to put things into certain categories in our lives. But this is the experience you came to have. And if that's what you're doing, then that's fine for you. Keep doing that. Don't feel that you have to stop or you have to change or you have to do anything. If none of this resonates with you, it's not meant to. You know, a while back, I've been reading a lot of books. For people that know me, I've been reading since I was so little. I mean, I started kindy and I already knew how to read, kindergarten. But in my adult years, I was really drawn to reading spiritual books. And I was reading Louise Hay's, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Was reading the Conversations with God books that came out by Neil Donald Walsh. I read the first 3 as soon as they came out, books 1, 2, and 3 of the Conversations with God, and they completely blew my mind at the time. And then I remember watching Oprah, and Gary Zukav was on there. And he was talking about the seed of the soul. And my cousin and I went running out to buy that book to read it, because we used to read everything together and compare notes, and share what we'd learned and what information came through for us. And we bought that book, and I got through the first page and I couldn't read anymore. And I've had quite a few like that. Brene Brown was another one. I read the first page and I just couldn't get through any more of her book or of his book, of Gary Zukav. And it's because for me, the language was too complicated, too difficult, and I didn't feel it was for the simple person, for people that aren't educated. When Jesus spoke, his language was very simple. When Louise Hay spoke, her language was very simple. It's meant for everyone and anyone that is looking for answers. But some authors are not for everyone. They are for the highly educated, and it's because the highly educated need to have a special language to reach them. It feels like it's talking to them. But I couldn't get anything out of those books at all. After page 1, I had to close them up and go, nope, that's not for me. It's too complicated. Some people follow star signs, the zodiacs, the star signs, and they're, fixated on all the information around that. If that makes you happy, follow that. Other people, they follow the solstice and all sorts of other rituals, that they believe in. If it makes you happy, follow that. As long as you're not harming other people, in doing all these things. And if you are, like we said before, you're always a blessing. You're harming them for a reason. You have a soul contract with that person, that you already agreed that this is what these roles, these are the roles that you would be playing for each other. So there is no right or wrong way to do this. If it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't resonate, then it's not for you. It is that simple. It's just not for you. Same as those 2 books were not for me. I love reading, but I couldn't get past the first page. I just couldn't. And now, with time, I realize that whatever information was in those books was not for me. I either already had the information from other books that I'd already read, or there was information there that was just not relevant to my path, to the experience that I came to have. So there's no need to be trying to prove your point. There's no need to be trying to be right about anything. There is just your experience that you came to have. There are millions of creators on YouTube, millions, and so many talking about the law of attraction and manifestation. And, the more I look, there's hundreds doing spirit guides and, But I find with a lot, I don't resonate. You know, it doesn't feel true to me because I've already had my own personal experiences. And for me, the journey was so, so simple and so beautiful. It wasn't complicated. If anything, it was about shedding what was no longer needed. All right, my beautiful beings, so don't stress. If there's anything said in any of the videos and you feel offended or upset or insulted in any way, it is never our intention. Our only intention is love. Our only intention is to return you to the love that you are. All right, my darlings. I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And I keep getting this message as I'm talking now, that religion was created for separation. It's another tool for separation when we come here on this planet and we are looking to separate from the one to have this beautiful human experience. It is one of the greatest dividers among men. Religion. So everything has its place. Everything has its value. Everything is there for a reason. Everything is there creating an experience for you. You know, it's not a coincidence that I was introduced to the Catholic religion when I was little and made to go to church until I was 15. It's not a coincidence. I was meant to have that experience. For me, the greatest gift that I got from that experience was that I was taught that I was separate from God, that He is this being so far, far up there, so high, so far beyond my reach. We were taught how separate we are from God. And when you realize that you come in and you have to separate from this beautiful universal life force energy to have this human experience, what a gift to have spent so many years being taught that we are separate from God. Because that is the truth. We have to separate to come and have this human experience. It's not the truth. We never separate. We are always connected to the one, to spirit, to the universe. We are always connected. We are never separate, not for 1 second. But to have this human experience, we forget that we are connected. We forget our beautiful connection to the divine. Otherwise, the human experience is not possible. All right, my darlings. Nothing is negative or bad, you know. For a while, for me, you know, the Catholic Church, I had this anger with the Catholic Church that they would teach that I was separate from God until I understood why. I understood that I needed to go through that. There were so many experiences in the past, you know, that I would be angry that I went through that. But when you awaken, you see the gift of it. You see the gift of why that was in your life, why you needed to go through that, why you had to experience that. All right, my darlings, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.